It's interesting. I keep calling her the female minion, but she's the only minion. She's the only person with any agency. The rest of them are just slaves, which is interesting because she and Pain, the main Pain, which I assume is the reanimated body of his friend, were talking to Toby back in, man, I feel like a million years ago now. So much has happened since then. But really, it was, Pain by extension. She was puppeting one of them, and the other one was an actual, she has her own agency. She seems to have her own. I think she does. I mean, she's obviously not being puppeted, but I mean, as far as I don't even think she's under any kind of mind control or any kind of influence. She's her own person. She's with him willingly. So she's the only minion. I should just say the only minion. Because I keep falling in the trap of thinking the rest of them are minions. They're not, and they're just puppets. A different kind of puppet. We keep coming back to puppets on this show, right? So it's just interesting to see that like she's the only true believer, the only member of the cause besides him. Nobody else is with them willingly. The rest of them are puppets, I assume. Now you've got the other Akashiki, but like this, an organization. Really, Toby runs it. I think I was talking about Pain, maybe like creating it, but really Toby. I guess Toby created it, so like it was probably already around before he joined. So yeah, I guess like I got a little off track there because I wasn't thinking about the big picture. But at any rate, like as far as his sub organization, his group, there's him and her, and that's it. And then the rest of them are just puppets. So I'm interested in her mindset. I guess she co-signs everything. She's with him 100%. They've been together since they were kids, so I get it, right? She cares about him on a personal level. Clearly, it's not just business with her. It's not just ideology. Like she also cares about him on a personal level, and I think he's about to kill himself. So like, where does she go from there? I don't know. But it is interesting. Like I think this is following what I realized last episode was going to happen is after this episode, then we're getting the filler, and the filler I think is when they're going to be rebuilding the Leaf Village. So when we finally get back into canon, it'll already be done. Which I assume the manga just did a time jump. Yeah, so this kind of filling in some of that. We'll see. All right. In any case, this is the first. There goes. There's a real deep black, and then it goes to an off black, almost a gray. And then I noticed that like they pan down and there's people in the fireplace or something. They're on a fire. So we're starting with that first change in color, like the very first frame of the episode. In other words, 3, 2, 1. This is the afterlife. Guess he is actually dead, which I assume he's about to be brought back to life. I just don't think the show's going to kill the character. I don't believe they had the balls. Yeah, f them. Dumbass. Really did change the course of his life, didn't it? You blame me for your bullshit. Idiot. Man, I like this a lot, man. Wasn't expecting this. Now he's gonna get ripped out of the afterlife. But at least they had this talk first, right? Here comes the energy blast, bringing him back. Called it. I was off by like 2 seconds. That's right, nailed it. They don't have the balls, man. They just don't. Once Choji didn't die, I was never going to be convinced. Yes, they killed the Pervy Sage, but that had been so heavily foreshadowed. Come on, of course they were going to do it. There was no foreshadowing for Akashiki, Kakashi. Hell, they're even bringing the frogs back, man. There was no foreshadowing for his pseudo girlfriend. Like, come on, man. Just don't believe it. This isn't Game of Thrones. Yeah. Yeah. He even brought back the goddamn frogs. But more importantly, the entire village. There's so many people died, right? That we don't even know their names. I think that's more important than the major characters they're bringing back, right? Because it lessens the tragedy of all this. He did it, man. This get me emotional again. Naruto did it. Those three masters that didn't believe in him, shut the hell up. Well, two of them didn't believe in him. I guess his name isn't Hambre. Kona Hambre. It's very strange, I'll tell you that much. The hell are you looking for? Yeah, he kicked that ass. You could say this cheapens death, right? Supernatural had that conversation. They kept bringing him back and bringing him back and bringing him back. You never believed the main two were going to die. Now they kill everybody else for good. But, and so you could argue this cheapens death because, like, I just will never, like I said, I'll never believe anybody's going to die unless it's heavily foreshadowed, which has happened once. Now, twice actually. No, twice. Because you heavily foreshadowed the sensei who had the girlfriend. That was heavily foreshadowed. And then you heavily foreshadowed Pervy Sage. You think about that. If you rewatch the series, look at how much foreshadowing is for both of them, right? Like he's chasing the girlfriend, the first one, and the second one he's having heart to hearts with Sanande, whatever her name is. Like there's all this foreshadowing, like clearly, right? They have the one last conversation with Naruto and all that shit, right? So compare those to every other time somebody dies and they're not dead. Like the show shows its cards, right? Like they let you know when it's for real, and when it's not, right? It's very clear. But what I was going to say though was that death's not cheapened. It's more important because here, when somebody actually dies, it matters because they're not killing very many people off. Like I said, Game of Thrones, the deaths don't matter anymore because so many people are dying. Who gives a shit? The death at the end of season one is so much more impactful than the deaths at the end of season three, at the end of season five. You just don't care anymore because so many people have died. On this show, when somebody dies, it matters. It matters so much. There's a weight to it. So bringing all these people back doesn't cheapen death. It makes it stronger, in my opinion. Man, he gave up all his power to do it. Jesus, he's dead. You've been in there all along. Damn, man, get off my body. I completely forgot about that stupid slug. Took him 3 years. Oh, I haven't talked about how I changed my mind about that. Hopefully, I remember at the end of this one. Good shit. It really is. Good talk, anyway. Hey, man, he's been waiting all this time. Man, these two episodes have really been. These last few episodes have been hitting me in the feels, man. Damn, I got emotional thinking about that. I don't even know this dude. I don't give a shit about him. But the fact he waited all this time and now he can go, I, I love that, man. Holy shit, killing me. Yep. F death. I told death to kiss my ass. Shut up, slug. I'm just being a dick. Something about that voice just makes you want to be mean. Right. That's true. I know the feeling well. Dad felt immortal. I had known him for so long. Makes sense. He repaired that cycle because a lot of people in Leaf Village would have never forgiven this. I thought he was going to say parallels between you and me, man, because there are a lot. What is she doing? She removing the veil? Yeah, he's going to die. I figured. I wonder if she's going to die too, because this feels like she is. Her power is dissipating, right? Probably die of heartbreak. Oh, shit. That's right. Cover him up too. His reanimated corpse. That shit was creepy. Figured. Yeah. And they're killing me, man. I do what I do. Right. Idiot. This is unbelievable, man. What a resolution. I said it before. His empathy is a real superhero. His real superpower. It's not the magic. It's the empathy. Hey, here's some flowers. I love that she was into origami and that became her power. They're really whipping my ass emotionally, man. This is unbelievable. Last thing I expected for the story arc. Shit. Now, I'm going to tell that dude that doubted me, that master that doubted me, to kiss the underside of my ass. Boy, he nailed it, man. I bet he is tired. Jesus. Oh, shit. I got you, boy. Even the music is good. This feels like what they do at graduation. Like they twisted that song, right? Whatever that's called. It's a song of celebration, which makes sense. If they had an election right now, he'd definitely get Hokage right now with his young ass. That's another thing. They would need a time jump if he did that. You can't be a Hokage at 16, I assume. Yeah. A lot of the people in this crowd are the haters that made fun of him when he was a kid. When he was younger. He's still a kid. Will you get the hell out of my body? Why do you keep showing up, Ed? Quit crawling out of my clothes. The same kind of people who would have made fun of him, right? Well, I guess the old ass frog stays alive. Oh, yes. That's right, Sakura exists. I don't think Sai exists. I think he's just dead. They wrote him. God damn, man. Jesus Christ. That is not affection. That is toxic abuse. I think they wrote outside like they did Richie Cunningham's brother. He just walked upstairs carrying a basketball and we never saw him again. Sai's gone, man. What the hell was the point of all that? He had a great little story arc and pff, he's out. Yeah. Half these people are being carried by other people. Oh, Jesus. Please, no. The dog has an eye patch? What the hell? Would other dogs be creeped out by his missing eye? I mean, yeah, I doubted him. Good shit. Yeah, he was a nuisance. Don't get it twisted. F that kid. Yeah, not just a brat, a fox brat. F that kid. Yeah, not good enough. I won't be impressed for another 2, 3 years. Yeah, but he didn't win. Hater. Complete effing hater, man. That's right. You just got knocked the F out. Well, that was a long time ago. Why has he got to be a fox brat, man? What are you, the narrator? I get it. I like the Greek chorus nature of this little montage here. Everybody's got something to say, right? I don't think he's given up on anybody. He didn't give up on Garen when everybody else would have. Of course, they have a lot in common, but still. He's not giving up on Sasuke. He doesn't give up on people. For now. Look at him. Heroes welcome. Where's the ticker tape parade? Also, that girl that like was in the filler, and then when she started this series, she seemed like she was going to be important. We ain't seen her in 100 episodes. It's interesting. Some of the characters just drop by the wayside, man. Get your bitch ass over here. Failed. You have failed the city. Eh, F him. So what if it is? Not anymore. He dead as hell. I really like this whole Greek chorus thing, right? Did you hear? I guess it shows people have been slowly changing their minds. One piece of gossip at a time, right? Jesus. Interesting that'd be his first question. That's what I was saying. Like, he doesn't give up. That's so interesting. He became the kid he was without real parents. That's another thing that's amazing about him. Well, he's getting acknowledged now. That's for goddamn sure. Well, that sure has come to pass. Right there with you, buddy. Again, if they hadn't taken so long from the emotional peak of the episode to the end of the episode, I would probably be crying during the outro. But I've had time to contain myself again. But this is all. I mean, it's all good. You wouldn't have wanted to cut it off where I was like at my most emotional. This is its own kind of catharsis. Three cheers. Four cheers. Hey, stop it. I'm throwing up. Man, that was absolutely incredible. Holy shit. Well, before I forget again, let me talk about the Jiraiya leaving. The thing is, I thought that he left and they were unsupervised, and so they just kind of got in trouble right away, right? And so they had a life of criminality and got worse and worse, and made every decision turned them dark path further. It just were basically became shitty people because they weren't supervised. He'd left too soon. Not the case at all. He stayed until he felt like they were ready, and he was right. Like they were ready because they were able to start an organization and live their lives and all that stuff. They were ready. He left when they were ready. And even if he had stayed, they were adults and they were making their own decisions at that point, and those decisions led to a thing tragedy and he lost hope and all this stuff. And I don't know what would have changed if he had stayed around. Plus, he had his own responsibilities at some point back to his own village. He had to leave at some point. I thought it was all because he left too soon. I love that that got clarified. It has completely changed the way I see this. So it was inevitable. It was going to happen, right? Like, it didn't happen because he left. And before this little mini arc, I thought it did happen because he left. So I like that changed my mind about all this. They gave us more context, and you can see it in a different way. I really like that. As for the overall stuff, my God, man, I need time to think about it. So I'm gonna edit what I've done so far, give it some thought, and then talk about it after the filler jump, which you won't notice because we're going straight into the next episode. So canon episode.